Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Pete on Retreat. Today, I'm going to share my actual cost of living for my first full calendar year of living here in Thailand. That's right, I've been living in Thailand for a full year now, and I've meticulously tracked almost every dollar I've spent since I lived here. For any of you out there that may not know, my name's Pete. In 2022, I sold everything I owned so I could move to Thailand and retire early at 49. Before I get into this, let me just state that everybody's different. Cost of livings are going to vary depending on your lifestyle and what you want to get out of life. I personally know people that are living out here on $1,000 US a month, and I know people that are spending over $3,000, probably even over $4,000 a month. This video, however, is about what I spent. Now, after I sold everything, I got myself a monthly budget that's going to last me the next 10 years until my retirement fund kicks in. And while I've got a budget higher than this, my personal goal while I'm living here in Thailand is to come under 2,000 US every month. In this video, I'm going to break down what my yearly spending was per category, then chop that down per month and per weekly average. Okay, so what do you think my biggest cost was since I moved out here? How many of you people are saying alcohol and ladies? Yeah, you're wrong. My biggest cost of living in Thailand is hands down my rent. I've lived in 5 different places since I've moved here, and each one has been more expensive than the one before. The first month I was here, I was in an Airbnb studio for 1 month, and my rent was $373. In my current room, which I don't know, maybe I'll give a tour to finally if this video gets like, 300 likes. I'm spending 20,000 baht a month, but I love this place. I've got this amazing view. I got to watch the New Year's Eve fireworks from my balcony with a bunch of friends over. It's in the neighborhood that I fell in love with as soon as I moved to Thailand. I've got several friends that live in this building with me now. And since I've now been here for a year, I know how much I could budget, and this room is definitely well within my budget, as you'll see. So, what did I spend on rent this year? In total, I spent 218,000 baht on rent this year. That comes out to 6,229 US dollars, which is 519 US dollars a month or $120 a week. Now, many people spend a lot less on rent out here, but having this place is really a big part of making me happy here. I wake up in the morning, I get this gorgeous view. At night, I get to see the city lights. This is hands down the roomiest room that I've been in since I've moved here, and I like to have my space. I'm able to have a lot of people over and host small parties and run Dungeons and Dragons games here. So this is an easy place for lots of people to spend less money, but that's what I'm spending. My next highest expense was kind of a surprise. I thought it was going to be food, but it's not. Can you guess what it is? I'm really happy to say the next highest cost I had was travel. In 2023, I took 2 trips to Laos. I took a trip to Siem Reap in Cambodia. I took 2 trips to the beautiful island of Koh Chang, and I spent 2 weeks for my 50th birthday in Japan. So last year on travel, I spent 171,000 baht, or about $4,890 US. That breaks down to $407 a month or $94 a week. Now, a lot of people aren't going to have this expense. Not everybody's looking to travel when they move to Thailand, but it's a big part of the reason why I moved here. My next biggest cost, entertainment. Now, what's entertainment for Pete? Well, we're talking about going to movies, we're talking about going to gaming cafes, we're talking about the hotel trips that I had here in the city when I stayed in the city for New Year's Eve in 2022, and when I stayed in the city for the Songkran Festival. When it's a really busy holiday weekend and I want to be in the run of it, I get a hotel room in Pattaya. But I'll be honest, the biggest part of my entertainment budget is going to bars and socializing. So what did Pete spend on drinking and movies and hotels and gaming? My entertainment spending this year was 149,000 baht. That breaks down to about $4,260 US, which breaks down to $355 a month or $82 a week. Now, when I go to the bar, I spend anywhere from $20 to $50 usually. So $82 a week on average really isn't bad. I was kind of surprised it was my third biggest expense though. I'm still waiting for food to come up. And speaking of food, my next biggest cost was not food. Nope, my next biggest cost was shopping. Now, for shopping, I am including groceries, but I only cook maybe 5% of the time when I'm eating, which is a big reason why I thought food would be higher up on this list. In my shopping budget, I'm also including things like GoPro accessories that I bought and things for my room, like my coffee maker, my rice cooker, my air purifier. I got a computer printer this year. I bought a guitar, and snacks from 7-Eleven's also included in this budget. So I shouldn't really be too surprised that this is my third biggest expense this year. I've also bought some clothing and other things that I can't even remember, but it all comes into the shopping budget. What does my shopping budget tally up to this year? I spent 120,000 baht on shopping this year. That breaks down to about $3,400 US, or about $286 a month, or $66 a week. Finally, we're getting to food now. I was shocked it's this low, and like everything else, some people are going to spend less than this, some people are going to spend more than this. I spent a little over 111,000 baht on food this year, which came out to just under $3,200 US, $265 a month on average, or just $61 a week. That came down to $8.72 a day on average. Now, there are some caveats that need to be disclosed here. I tend to only eat once or twice a week. Most days I eat 2 times. Sometimes I only eat 1 big meal though. I really thought it would be more because I'll often spend $15 on a single meal, but some days I only spend 100 or 150 baht. Another thing that keeps my food costs low is that I do cook some at home, and the food I buy at the grocery store isn't here in this cost. It's in my shopping cost because I don't just buy food when I go. I'm also buying household goods. When I cook cheap. I tend to just cook like chicken roasts and vegetables or a lot of breakfast stuff. And I do have to say, since I've lived in Thailand, I have been spending a little bit more and more almost every month, but I'm still way under my budget and I've hit my goal almost every month. What's next? Well, we all have bills to pay, right? We've got utilities, we've got our phone, we've got streaming services. I have a storage unit back home that I have to pay for. I spent 100,000 baht on bills this year. That comes out to a bit more than 2,800 USD, which comes out to $238 a month or about $55 a week. I should also say that I pay for the fastest possible internet that I have, and I don't have the cheapest phone and mobile package that I could have. Again, there's many ways you could save money and live cheaper than I'm living out here. My next biggest expense was school. Now, I didn't have an education visa, and we'll get to visas later, but on school, I spent a little over 41,000 baht, which breaks down to almost $1,200 US for the year, which is an average of $98 a month or just $23 a week. I don't know what this cost is going to be like next year. I do plan on learning more Thai. I'm probably going to do private lessons either with a school or with a tutor. So I know I will be paying for Thai lessons next year. And honestly, I'll probably pay more than I did this year, but I'm not sure yet. Next up on my costs for 2023 is Rideshare. Now, I live in Pattaya and I don't go into the city that often. The longer I've lived here, the less and less I tend to go into the city. I'm happy just walking around the neighborhood, hanging out with friends, doing just normal life stuff. And you don't need to go into the city to do that. Half the time I go into the city now, it's just to go see a movie. And Rideshare is incredibly affordable here in Thailand. For me, it's like a 15-minute, 20-minute, sometimes a 25-minute drive to get into the center of the city. And that usually costs me $3 to $5. This year on Bolt, I spent over 33,000 baht, which comes out to less than 1,000 US dollars. It averaged $80 a month or $18 a week. I just can't believe how affordable it is out here. Next up, I have massages. Yeah, I have a separate budget for massages. I'm just always curious how much I spend on it, so I like to track it separately. I spent almost 21,000 baht on massages this year, which comes out to about 600 US dollars. That averages $50 a month or $12 a week. And if you know the prices for massages in Thailand, you can see I averaged about one massage a week, which is kind of my overall goal, but it really didn't break out that way. I didn't have a single massage in November. Some weeks I might have 2 or 3, and then sometimes I'll go weeks without one. We're getting towards the bottom of the list here, and this is a cost that a lot of people considering to move out here ask about. My next cost, and almost my last cost, is my visa. Now, I used an agent for all of my visa needs out here, except for going to Laos twice and getting a tourist visa. I have a great guide on getting your tourist visa for Thailand and Laos. There's a link for it in the description below. As I was saying, I used an agent for getting my retirement visa this year, and I also used an agent just for getting a 30-day extension when I was on my first visa exemption when I arrived. Since the retirement visa cost is a one-time big payment, I broke it up for the 12 months that it's going to cover me. So part of these costs are going to roll over into 2024, and then I'll incur some new costs when I renew my visa in July. In 2023, I spent a little over 18,000 baht on visa services. That came out to $525 for the year, which averages to $44 a month or $10 a week. The last cost I'm including is kind of funny because I was only including it separately because I plan on shooting this video today at my local laundromat. I woke up early before the sun came up, went and did laundry, was setting up my camera, and I can't believe how many people came out to do laundry. I've been at the laundromat that early before with nobody around, and within 10-15 minutes of arriving there was like 7 other people. So I decided to set up here in my condo. Since I already did the breakdown, here's what I spent on laundry. It cost me 208 US dollars for the year, which comes out to about $17 a month or $4 a week. So what's my total for the entire year? I spent almost 1 million baht living in Thailand my first year. 1 million baht, that's crazy, right? Not really. The grand total of 983,729 baht breaks down to 28,107 US dollars. That averages $2,342 a month or $541 a week. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that my goal was 2,000 baht a month. My budget's considerably higher than that, but I want to save a bunch of money so I could take more extravagant trips as the years go on in this 10-year adventure of mine. At first, I was a little bummed to realize I averaged over $300 more than what my goal was every month, but then I started looking at it differently. As I said earlier, I was surprised that travel was my number 2 cost. Well, if you remove travel from my cost of living, then I do actually average less than 2,000 US dollars a month. Without my travel expenditures, I spent 812,729 baht last year. That comes out to 23,221 US dollars, which averages $1,935 a month or $447 a week. There you go. I average less than $2,000 a month for living in Thailand for 1 full year. And that's including insurance and my visa costs and buying a bunch of stuff because it was my first year here. Things I won't have to buy next year, like appliances and a printer. So what do you all think? What are your goals for when you move out here? Are you going to live on less than 2,000 US a month? Are you going to live on less than 1,000 US a month? I'd love to hear what you think about my budget and my spending this year. Please tell me down in the comments below. Life is what we make it, and I am incredibly fortunate and so appreciative that I've been able to make the life I've made for myself out here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. Hit the bell for notifications. As always, I'd like to thank you all for watching. This is Pete on Retreat, and I wish you were here.